Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Is Purest White, a Chinese film from 2018 that was directed by Zhangke Jia, a highly acclaimed director who has been around for quite a while. He made an impression near the turn of the century, right around 2000, late 90s, and since then, all of his films, his feature-length films at least, have been featured in competition at either the Venice or Cannes film festivals. Now, I want to be careful when discussing the story of Is Purest White, because the pivotal event of the film does not really occur until about the 45-minute mark. However, I want to give you an idea of what the story is about. So our main character is a woman who falls in love with a gangster. Now, early on, this guy is portrayed as a fairly reasonable guy, right? When he calmly resolves an underworld debt dispute without the need for violence. Unfortunately, some of the other gangsters in the area are targeting his business associates. So, as a consequence of certain conflicts that arise, I'll just put it that way, our lady protagonist is separated from the gangster for a period of time, but then later returns to the area to reunite with him. So if you've seen any of this director's other films, you will know that the economic development and globalization of China, as well as capitalism in general, are themes that frequently appear in his films and are also rather interesting when handled well. Now, in Is Purest White, for example, specific references are made to the residential relocation that occurred in conjunction with the construction of a dam at the Three Gorges in China. Also, one of the gangsters visits Hong Kong and Macau frequently, and he compliments the quality of foreign cigars. In addition, the film takes place in an old mining city that has run into some financial problems due to the price drop in coal. So these are all like references to those main themes that I mentioned earlier. So always keep your eye out for stuff like that when you're watching a film from this director. Now, Jia's films could be classified as art house films due to their deliberate pacing and overall style. This movie does have a crime conflict that could attract some viewers that are not into his typical stuff. This is especially true for the opening half, which features, actually there's a good violent fist fight that shows up at one point that I enjoyed. But this is only relevant to like the opening half of the film. The second half is more of a drama romance that kind of drifts around while our lady protagonist is attempting to reconnect with her past acquaintances. So it develops into more of a free-flowing art house vehicle with a few odd moments peppered in. So I think this works though because it does stay connected enough to the main story to be engaging. So it's not like this film just goes off on wild tangents. It always kind of reconnects to that main event that occurs in the first half and kind of like the main relationship between the two main protagonists. So it doesn't get too weird, but it does meander, I guess you could call, for a while. I was actually uncertain as to where this film was going for much of the runtime, so I kind of like that in this case. It helped to maintain my attention. Is Purest White is another good title from Zhangke Jia. You know, it has good dialogue, good acting, good direction, good production values, and I actually like the ending, too. The only warning I would give to some viewers is that if you're one of those people who generally dislikes art house films, you may not connect with this as much. It actually has a 99% critic approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with 144 critic reviews logged in. So they're going pretty crazy over this one. But it only has a 68% audience rating with 134 user votes. So you can see a little bit of a discrepancy there. But if you're receptive to this kind of film, check it out. And if you're a fan of this director, just watch it immediately. I mean, I think I've seen like 8 or 9 of this director's films, and Is Purest White is in the top half. It's in my top 4. And I probably should review a few of the other films that are my favorites from this director. This is another good entry. Sometimes in these art house style films, they just get kind of boring. This one, I don't know, it just held my interest very well throughout. This is a good director and a guy that you should I would say explore if you want some good quality Chinese dramas from the past 20 years. This is currently available on various streaming sites in the United States, as well as physical media, I believe. And as always, we'll see you next time.